Video games fucking suck.
Game.
Games, gaming.
Game.
Gaming devices.
Game.
Gaming devices.
Games. Child molesters.
Cable TV agrees with me, and I think we all know that cable TV is the premier location for intellectually stimulating content.
Sexiest man alive, it's Blake Shelton.
The first problem I have with media outlets is how baseless their opinions are. Allow me to explain. When you have multiple people discussing video games and not one of them has ever played one, you create this echo chamber of misinformation. Don't believe me? Go and turn on your TV. You've just hit the frickin' jackpot of ignorance.
Their own behavior may become more aggressive.
You can solicit a prostitute,
terrorizing them in some instances,
kill her,
The movies don't have you run over kids.
run her over.
Every time you report on a game, you should at least take the time to play it so you can understand what kind of game it is and whose audience it's trying to stimulate. It's also greatly important to acknowledge the fact that there's an entire plethora of even more games out there. Whenever I watch a news report, they always stick to the same goddamn 3. Why isn't a game like Persona 5 a game that lets you bang your teacher, not making headlines? Oh shit, I just gave them a headline. Some of the dumbest statements out there are, video games make you violent, video games make you sexist, video games make you racist. You don't have to like every game under the sun. There are many games out there that many people do not like. It's okay to see some games as maybe unappealing, but when you're always being antagonistic...
Grand Theft Auto 5.
Grand Theft Auto 5.
Grand Theft Auto.
Grand Theft Auto?
Okay, you win just on that score.
You have to expect getting some pushback. Gamergate was the ultimate pushback. According to Anita Sarkeesian, everything is bad and nothing is good. Does that make her a bad critic? No, what makes her a bad critic is her holier-than-thou attitude. She comes off sometimes as this ignorant and entitled person. She'll go on to the news and talk about how women are beaten and killed, while ignoring the fact that the same happens to men as well.
I'll teach you!
In Watch Dogs, she points out how women are murdered to give the hero a reason to chase down a bad guy. There are plenty of games that aren't violent or sexualized, but some of the best-selling games are especially egregious. This isn't a feminist issue, it's just smart business.
It's really our fault that their names ring out in infamy. If we had just left them alone, they probably would have been left in the crowd. Most of these people have nothing special about them. They all write the same shit. I could find 5 different sentences and they all would sound like they're from the same article. Violence in video games allows players to happily kill. Violence in video games and the risk of gun violence. Arrival of increasingly violent video games. Violent video games on mental health. Violent video games and violent behaviors. Jack Thompson, you're an expert on video games, right?
Jack Thompson is an attorney and video game expert.
Okay, so tell me, what do you think about, let's say, Grand Theft Auto?
Older men were using Grand Theft Auto 3 as a murder and carjacking simulator to train teens on how to do carjackings, and one of the kids said, we played the game by day and we lived the game by night. It's a murder simulator.
Insanity is doing the exact same fucking thing over and over again, expecting shit to change.
Look, I know I'm not the best critic, but when I talk about a game, at least I try to mention everything about the game. I want to talk about what I like and what I dislike about it. Let's look at The Guardian talk about Tomb Raider. Originally best known for her remarkable sized breasts, game designers decide to make Lara Croft so vulnerable. Players aren't expected to want to protect Nathan Drake, same as from Metroid. What the fuck was this article? You picked out one scene from the game and forgot that Lara Croft is one of the strongest female lead characters. I play a lot of games. Going back to the years, I found so many games that portray genuinely beautiful and heart-wrenching stories. Why don't you ever hear about that in the news? Religion, politics, and money. These are the #1 reasons why these people do this. Look, my point is to never take these people seriously. At the end of the day, these people are just bandwagoning on the video game hate. Whenever a new art form comes out, there always has to be an opposing side, so let them oppose.
To try to blame Shakespeare and the violence in Shakespeare and the violence in art for violence that happens in the real world is something that's been tried for years and is always wrong. People must take responsibility. We must stop blaming society and actually blame the perpetrator.
Oh shit, I forgot about these guys.